Braka, braka, braka. Welcome to HSE-TV Entertainment. If you like what we're breathing, be so kind to hit the subscribe button, hit the like and the share. Now, Brother Corey came on here the other day and said we need to pay attention to the vibrations, the light codes, the actual, mind of the Lord that doesn't require lips moving, doesn't require physical, any type of anatomy of a movement, but the divine power sign of the mind of the Lord.
Amazing high-tech drone. This thing was originally developed for military recon missions. We're talking about spotting enemy positions, gathering footage from up to 2 miles away, all without being seen. Now, the tech in this drone is some of the most advanced stuff in the world. It lets you capture whatever you want in crystal clear, super steady footage. Up until a few weeks ago, only one company in the world had the rights to sell it because they owned the patent. So they were charging $5,000 for just one of these things. But on January 1st this year, that patent expired. Now, new companies can sell these drones. Most are still charging thousands, but there's this company called Stealth Expedition that's changed the game. They're selling this high-tech drone at a price that's actually affordable. People are using these drones for all kinds of stuff. Hikers and outdoor adventurers love it because it's perfect for capturing stunning mountain views. Thanks to the gimbal stabilizer, the camera tilts in any direction for the perfect shot. And it's not just for the pros. We're talking about people using it in their backyards, on weekend trips, you name it. This drone is perfect for vacations too. Imagine capturing amazing landscapes and exploring new...
They definitely don't want you to have that. Why are they trying to kill us?
Good evening and welcome back to Starkey Forums. Hey guys, my name is Samantha. The video I'm fixing to show you, it's going to be a bit longish, and that's okay. Because guys, we're going to talk about the Deagle report. I found it. It's an actual thing. We're going to talk about declassified CIA records, something called the Adam and Eve theory. And then we're going to tie that into geoengineering and how the American population is supposed to decrease by 71% in 2025. That is a military report. It is real. It is true. And that is what our government is predicting and preparing for, folks. Don't turn this off. Until the end of the video, I'm going to tell you who Deagle is, the guy who wrote the 2025 Deagle report that everybody's blowing the internet up about. This guy was connected. Just to get you guys warmed up, let's start with this.
This problem that all of this comes down to is the refusal of most people to believe that people in power wish them harm, actively want to harm them. That is the hardest thing for most people to accept. And there are a lot of people who just won't do that, even if they're quite aware that things aren't right. And you can talk to them about this and that, and they're open to it. But once you reach the point that the people in control are actively trying to harm you, that's too much for them.
Get that out of the way. Stop believing that your government, that your unelected officials and your NGOs and even your religious organizations are not trying to get rid of you. Okay, so just stop with that belief, because what I'm fixing to show you is that not only has our government suspected and been doing reports on what I'm fixing to talk about since the 60s, they have known since 2019 that the American population is set to decline, folks, by 71%. And they themselves have been preparing. Now, you may say, what do you mean they're preparing? Like, they're preparing for chaos. Watch.
There are reports already coming out that on the federal government, state, local, they are already preparing for massive civil unrest. About a big warning for America. And it was the security defense in our federal government was saying Americans are clueless. And almost everybody is unprepared for what could happen at any moment. And that video is about a cyber attack and how it could take down the water supplies, the electric supplies. What are you going to do if that would happen? And it could happen suddenly and you're not prepared. Well, then this is different because there's also reports coming out that they are getting ready for massive civil unrest. So massive chaos. After the election, before the election.
Billions of dollars have been being put into things like armored vehicles and police officer robots. Why? Why would you need that in the United States? Unless maybe you were concerned there wasn't enough physical officers?
Fighting robot patrols Atlanta's old Fourth Ward autonomously. It's one of 2 Nightscope AI robots deployed at Wingate City Lights apartments to address high crime rates. The Nightscope K5 patrols the area using cameras, thermal sensors, facial and plate recognition, and wireless signal detection to monitor surroundings. If it detects a threat, the K5 alerts authorities and warns people nearby.
How is this massive depopulation going to happen? I don't know. But I know that I found a report titled 2025 that the military did again, saying that the American population would grow.
The worst way to...
So you see North Carolina, you see Florida. FEMA not for you, nor is the government. Well, we knew this already. We got to be prepared, ready, boots on the ground. We in the Lord are going to save ourselves.
68% of new growth from 2020 to 2050 would be Spanish and Hispanic growth. In other words, everybody else in America, all the other demographics, all the other ethnicities have to decrease, right? Because 68% of our growth is going to come from the Hispanics that are illegally coming into our country. That I am hearing that we're supposed to have a magnetic pole swap. I don't know a lot about this. And I'm like, what are these people talking about? What are they talking about?
And here's the kicker, the continuation of that infamous 2012 calendar. It had stuff predicted, even the 2019 pandemic, man. But it doesn't stop there. It's saying that in 2025, the Earth's going to pull a switcheroo and reverse its rotation. The CIA apparently has this under wraps with some document called the Adam and Eve theory. And the craziest part is that these archaeologists, after discovering all this, poof, gone, vanished the next day. All that's left is their report, which is why I'm sharing this with you. True or not, it's a story worth diving.
Look up, could the magnetic pole swap? They tell you that you're crazy, that it's not going to happen in one day, like people are predicting. Just hang in there, listen to me. Like the CIA is predicting. What? Did you hear that? Yeah. Guys, in 1960, it's called the Adam and Eve story. This guy did this whole report on the fact that we're due some kind of magnetic pole swap and that it's going to happen very rapidly and that it's happened multiple times on the earth already and that this was just recently declassified, folks. But when you look it up, they tell you it's not possible. And then what they tell you is that there's no iron in the atmosphere that could actually connect the electromagnetic current to make this happen. But what about this?
To put material in the stratosphere to reflect sunlight.
So the problem is the following. If you add SO2 to the stratosphere, SO2 doesn't condense. So you might want to put alumina in. Alumina has a very high nature refraction. It's very small. It doesn't coagulate. And you can engineer particles to have particular properties. You can get them out of the stratosphere. You can concentrate particles near the poles. Costs are so cheap that the richest people on the planet could perhaps afford to buy an ice.
Swell up, did he just say the rich, the elite, the unelected officials running the world, they could probably survive it? How could they survive it? Could it be because of this?
And billionaires usually have it, but of late, they seem to have a new obsession. Bunkers. The top 1% are building bunkers. Mark Zuckerberg is constructing one in Hawaii, and it's worth $270 million, $270 million. It's almost like a status symbol now. But why do the super rich need bunkers? Are they trying to survive a war? Maybe another pandemic or an apocalypse? Do they know something that we do not? Our next report tells you.
Blast-resistant doors, equipped with its own food and energy supplies. This is a 5,000 square foot shelter located underground in Hawaii. The price tag of the project is $207.
So of course I looked it up and I'm like, okay, so there's no iron, but what about aluminum? Could aluminum act as a connector for all this to happen? And the answer is yes. Yes, it can. And what are they spraying in our skies every stinking day through geoengineering, folks? Aluminum. Look at it. Look at this. You all have seen this. Half of you believe this is just planes flying in the sky and, you know, that's just the exhaust coming out the backside. Baby, it's not. Listen to me. That's geoengineering at its best, friend. Folks, we reapplied to be monetized September 3rd, 2024. I haven't heard anything yet. If you would like to donate $1 today, it would be an amazing day because I have to take my German Shepherd to see a veterinarian.
So they got mad proof trying to get rid of you. They said this in the prophetic prophecy. But thank you for coming out at HSE, Holy Spirit Enlightenment Television Entertainment. Enjoy your day, be safe, and stay in the Holy Spirit.